Multimin is an injectable trace mineral containing zinc, copper, selenium and manganese, and it's really designed to be used, yes, to correct deficiencies, but very much to top up animals ahead of periods of really high demand from a trace mineral perspective.
I had an issue with some of the suckle cows that had come in and been weaned the calves off, that were again in calf, that were just looking a little flat. I feel that they tended to thrive after they'd had the injection. Not only did they look much better, the coats, I felt that the appetite was better. We haven't used it in the sucklers pre-calving, but it is a product that I'm certainly going to try this time because I was very impressed with the weaned stock that we gave it to, as well as the cows that were in calf.
Many beef cows are supplemented orally, so Multimin is a good alternative to that for farms that perhaps don't want to bolus from a handling point of view. So having an injectable version is a good option for that. It also fits well for cattle that you're turning out, that you only want to handle, and then you can turn them out because you can inject them before you turn them out.
The fact that you can get them all in, you can jab the ones, and everything you know that's been jabbed effectively has had the correct amount of mineral for what they need. For example, when they're inside here, they're on, forage that they analyse and they'll know the mineral balance in that, and they're also on concentrate feeding. So actually that's probably not a period where they worry. It's when they go outside onto grass of unknown quality and the pastures that are unknown. I think that's the risk period. So for us, moving forwards, we'll just make sure that they're jabbed before they go out for next grazing season. Ultimately, they've not had any more clinical signs. So I think the initial problems that we saw, sort of, inappetence, wobbliness, some went down. We even lost one. We've had none of that since. And so, actually they've continued to grow, and the calves and certainly the sucklers have thrived since.
So there was a study done in sucklers where injectable trace minerals were given to cows during pregnancy, and then they were given again before a fixed time AI program. The cows that had the injectable trace mineral had higher conception rates to that first service than the cows that hadn't had the minerals. Although the overall pregnancy rate was no different, the cows that had injectable trace minerals calved earlier in the block, so a greater proportion calved in that first 3 weeks. So in a suckler system, which is really driven by trying to have a tight calving pattern, trying to have as many cows calving early, that can be a real benefit to have a greater proportion at that point.
Farmers are facing lots of different costs from all angles, and Multimin is actually a way of increasing marginal gains and saving costs in the long run at times of transition. We also have studies to show that it decreases the incidence of mastitis. It's been shown to increase conception rates. If it's given to your bulls, it increases semen motility, and to have that extra security that perhaps will increase the conception rates for that is going to be a marginal gain.
For calves, I think it's important to worry about minerals over the stress period. So classically for them, it will be weaning, so going from milk onto concentrates. Anytime you're moving groups or mixing groups, those would be the key kind of times of stress, or any time that they would be sick. All those things will stress a calf, and depending on what they're being fed, obviously lots are on milk powder. So it's always important to consider that they've got adequate mineral provision, because that helps with immunity and the health and general well-being.
I have to think about the welfare of the animal. With us coming from a college, the students' welfare as well. It's a product that can be easy administrated to the cattle. And at certain times of the year, to me, I'd like to keep the cow that is in calf with as less stress as possible. And with this product, you can just quietly move them into the crush, give them the injection and quietly move them out again. There's not the wrestling that needs to be done.